Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Fred and Friends. I'm your host, Fred Schultz, and tonight we're going to be talking about two cool tournaments we got coming up. I got some great guests on tonight. I've got, hope we're going to get Dan Colby in. He's kind of floating around out there someplace, but we've got Steve Frisco, we've got Rob Walker, and we've got Jennifer Montressor on here tonight. So this is going to be pretty good because, one thing I always do is I try to promote all the good people, and these guys work really hard at paintball and to get this stuff up and going. So, and obviously you can see this is not my backdrop. I am in an undisclosed bunker somewhere in the middle of Alabama. That's right. You heard me right. It's Alabama. That's where I'm at right now. I'm visiting my daughter, having a great time and getting ready to head down to Florida to do the WCPL. And, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And first I got to say hi real quick. Ryan Courtney, Paul Farrell, James, howdy. How you doing, buddy? My buddy, Keith Kissel, Bonchik, and Gumby, Stefan Santersola. Now, I know I blew your last name, but I still love you, Stefan. You know that. And Gumby, I worked really hard. I got that one down pat, buddy. So very cool. And Keith Kissel is back in California. He's holding down the fort for me. So he's a good buddy of mine. And he's taking care of everything back there. And I really do appreciate that so very much. And we got a Facebook user saying, hi, Jessica Schultz. Wow.
Hello.
I love you, Facebook users. So anyhow, I'm going to give my shout outs because I'm going to drag these people out here in a little while. And Ping is watching from California. Ping, I got to tell you, I've been looking at some of the pictures you put out there, you and your kids, just fantastic. When I talk about guys that are good for paintball, just about everybody that has chimed in so far tonight on my screen, these are people that I have a lot of respect for. And the respect is, you can talk about, yeah, I'm a great player, but what do you do for the sport? We want to build a sport. We want to make the sport bigger and better all the time. And, I got to meet Peng a few weeks ago, actually, down at the WCPL tournament down in Los Angeles. And I got to tell you, what a great person. Always smiling too. I mean, if you're down, you just hang around with that guy for about 30 seconds and you're up, you're happy, and everything's really cool. So anyhow, Peng, I appreciate so much you watching tonight. And Ryan Courtney was the first one in tonight. And Ryan says, hey, Jessica, to my daughter. I'm going to bring her out here in a little bit, but I want to give my shout outs first. We're going to talk about both those tournaments. Normally at the beginning of my show, I would go ahead and mention the dates for the tournaments, but we actually have the people that are doing these tournaments on here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw out a few names, people, and I do this every week. And the reason I do this is because I wish everybody that, all the youngsters and even some of the middle youngsters, not the oldsters, could go back to the beginning of paintball and actually see who really worked very hard at putting this sport together. And would paintball still be here today? Yeah, it probably would be here. But, in what capacity would it be here? It's these guys did so much and they stuck so much money and time and effort into it. It's unbelievable. So I mentioned them real quick, and then I'm going to drag out my guests. I start every week, bar none, with my buddy, Mr. Tim Schloss. Tim had Tiger Stripe back in the day, Tiger Stripe camouflage, very popular. And I got to tell you guys, I kept talking week after week after week. The new Tiger Stripe is coming. It's coming. Well, Tim called me today. Should be here in 2 weeks. Original colors, original Tiger Stripe, new fabric. They are going to be absolutely cool. I mean, I'm just, he's actually brought the prototype. He's going to have it in Florida this weekend down at Panhandle Paintball. So I am so looking forward to that. This is something that Tim and I've kind of been working on for a while. It was hard, I mean, it was like pulling nails to get him to drag the camouflage back up because he's, I don't know, man, Now he's bringing it back out. He's all jacked up, man, like he drank a gallon of Mountain Dew. So we are really, really looking forward to having a good time in Panhandle and show you guys the new Tiger Stripe camouflage coming out. And he also has Gateway Paintball in St. Louis, and that's going to be the last WCPL tournament of the year. Then I say hi, my second buddy always, Mr. Dan Colby. Now, we're going to have Dan on here tonight. I actually see him in the green room finally, yep, the mystery man. We finally located him. We don't know where he was. It was in some parking lot, Steve was saying, but he found him. And so we're going to have Dan on tonight. But, I've been with Dan for 30 some years. I started with Air America with Dan Colby, and now he has Immortal Air. And everybody knows there's a lot of air systems out there. So everybody has their choice, and I don't badmouth any air system. But, to me, the best air system that I have seen in 32 years has been Air America / Immortal Air. Dan and his son John put so much time and effort into this. It's incredible. Their customer service is terrific, but their product is outstanding. And I've watched Danny work on it many, many times. He's very, very meticulous. So anyhow, and then I got to say hi to my buddy, Mr. Bud Orr. Okay, Bud's just getting over a little bit of an illness. And I talked to him the other day. He's doing great, great, great person. Love the guy. Can't ever say enough about him. War Game Products, the Auto Cocker, it just is a huge part of history. Just like Dan Colby's a huge part of history. Tom Kay, which Airgun Designs, huge part of history. Tim Schloss, a huge part of history. All these guys are. And so that's why I got to mention them every week. And then I have to mention Randy Camilla, APG. Jerry Braun, Paintball Sport Magazine, and also he has Paintball Sports Field, which is going to be the June WCPL tournament, and it's going to be on one of the oldest woods ball field ever, the Ponderosa. I mean, I'm very blessed to get me a golf cart for that tournament. Man, I sure would like to take it on that field, because that field is a long, long field, but terrific field to play. So you're going to be looking for that in June. The WCPL, and that's in Newburgh, New York. And then I got to say hi to Mr. Gino from Velkin. Now, I mention Gino every week. Gino, everybody goes, Gino's a big king, yada, yada, yada. And he is. But, you guys don't see what Gino does for people behind the scenes. He's just a terrific person, and what he does behind the scenes for paintball. It's worth mentioning his name because he's a terrific guy. He really, really is. I like him an awful lot. Then I mentioned Jim Lively. Now, you go back in the day, when there wasn't a gazillion tournaments, now you can have a tournament like every other day, okay? But back in the day, there was two that you wanted to go do. One was Jim Lively's Masters, and the other was Jerry Braun's World Cup. Because I would get so excited going to these tournaments. It was like a homecoming. And, some of the best people I've ever met and some of the best people that I know now has been through paintball. If it wasn't for paintball, I wouldn't have not just knowing these great people, but some of the memories that these people have given me has been absolutely terrific. I just absolutely love it. I got Rick Wilcox sticking in here tonight. What's going on, Rick? All the way from California. Yeah. As I mentioned on the show last week, Rick's lovely wife, Lori, her and her sister on a 16-day train trip going around the United States checking stuff out. So I think that's pretty cool, and I was telling Rick, did they go on that train trip because of you? And he says no. So they're just going to have a good time. I'm very, very happy for them. And then I got to mention my two little young guns I mention every week. There's Mark Gong has two sons, Jaden Gong and Mark Gong Jr. And, you go way back a couple of years, they're kind of the leader of this Young Guns thing. Jennifer has some great teams, and there's a lot of people out there now that have a lot of them. But at the very beginning, all of these people worked on the Young Guns, but nobody ever talked about it. Nobody pushed it. At the World Cup this year, they had like 24, 25 different Young Gun teams. It was outstanding. It really, really was. So I had to zoom through that. And the reason I zoomed through it is because I've got some great guests on here tonight. And I am going to start, ladies first, always. Please, everybody, welcome Jennifer Montrusser. Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, Fred. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad you get to come on tonight because I know you go to work late or go to work early or it's
Early. I know.
early.
I get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Yes, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah, well, that's early or late for somebody. It depends on how you roll. But I appreciate very much you coming on here tonight because when I talked to Rob, I wanted to help push your tournament just like we push the WCPL tournaments.
Appreciate it, Fred. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell people even if the teams aren't going in, even if you're not going in with a team, go out and support these people. Support the players that are there, support the guys, the people that are putting this event on, and that's going to actually help make paintball bigger and better, like I always say. So I think it's a good thing. I absolutely love it. And now I want to bring on the guy that's working with her. And is he a headache before I bring him on? Is Rob a headache?
He's actually a really nice guy.
He is, huh?
Yeah, can you believe he's really a nice guy?
Oh, well, the check must be in the mail then. No, he's a terrific guy. I love him. And he's part of the band too. Please, everybody, welcome Mr. Rob Walker. How you doing, Rob?
Hi, John. Hi, Fred.
Yeah, I just, I'm sure you heard me. I was just teasing you a little bit, but you're part of the band, and you know how the guy kind of rolls with the band.
I know, and I'm privileged and love it.
Yeah, well, I think you're a great band member, and I am so happy that you linked up and are taking this to Fox Paintball along with Jennifer and to make this happen. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I really, really do. And then I got a couple other guys we're going to get to see this weekend, Rob, because you're going to come down and play with the band this weekend, right?
Yes, I am. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
posted with all my gear already.
Yeah. and we've got Tony Dietz, Rob and Jennifer. I don't know if you guys know Tony, but he's a retired police officer from Texas. And he got a hold of me a few weeks ago, and he asked me, he goes, what do you think about putting some kind of a thing together so that the police can, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to raise money for the fallen officers and the police that need a hand. And I said, I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. So I put him in touch with Tim F., out there in New York. And I seen him go by.
Nice cream run.
Everybody, that was Frank. I love Frank. He's such a great.
So do I.
So anyhow, so I put them together. So you're going to be hearing a lot more about that. They've got a website out there now, and this is their name. Okay, it's called Fuzz Paintball, and I'm going to really be looking forward to doing some benefits and some things with them to raise some money for them. And Tony, everybody knows that, and I'm going to tell everybody, you are the tip of this spear because you came to me with the idea, and I just felt fortunate enough that you asked me about it, and I'm looking forward to really putting something together. And Christian, oh boy, how you doing, my friend? This guy here makes some fabulous airgun designs. Does he not make some good mags, Rob?
That kid is awesome. I love him.
Uh-oh, I don't hear you.
Oh, am I gone?
I hope it's not me.
I think it's you.
Say something.
Yeah, I think it's you because I can still hear him.
Uh-oh, really?
Uh-oh.
Oh, guys, hold tight. Hold tight. I think I lost you.
Just a little technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Stand by.
There we go. Now I think I can hear you.
How's that?
Oh, my ear. Now it's a lot better.
All right. Yeah, Christian is a fabulous kid.
Across my legs here. So, yeah. Try it one more time here. Okay. I'm not going to cross my legs. I'm just going to stay like I am right now. So let's bring out our last two guests. Now we're going to start talking tournaments. Two great tournaments coming up. Please, everybody, welcome the elusive Mr. Dan Colby and Steve Prisco of Panhandle Paintball.
Yeah.
Hey,
How you doing, guys?
Hey, everybody.
How you guys doing, man?
How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah.
I was gonna mess with Freddy and just pretend to speak and just.
Yeah, no kidding. So you guys all ready for this weekend?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
absolutely.
We've been
And
looking forward to seeing you guys out there. Freddie,
Oh,
Rob,
we're looking
and,
forward to doing it,
it'd be
man.
nice. Jennifer, it's good to see you, of course, But yeah, man, it'd be really nice. The weather's been great. Get out of Chicago. Believe it or not, it's warm someplace,
Right?
So yeah,
I can't wait to get out of here.
All the time.
I gotta tell you, man, it's hot. I mean, it's really, really hot. I mean, so anyhow,
Sunscreen. Bring
sunscreen. You guys are gonna have a good time.
Oh.
I know that we've been working on these fields, and we got the fields to, that we want them to be at, and for you guys, just to make sure that everybody knows, our fields are gone through on a day to day. And we inspect the fields, we pick up any debris, we don't let anything cross, any kind of obstacles, lay around in any given time. So our fields are always clean all the time. Our mounds field, I think you're like that, again, 100%, with no obstacles and stuff like that.
Yeah, no filler, 100% actual dirt.
Yeah.
Very
And
well.
No worrying about getting
If we
hurt
got
on
a
something.
big enough cooler, bring an extra body, and we got a place to put it. You know what I'm saying?
Fields can always have additional bunkers.
We got the room. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, but
My guys might take you up on that. Be hush, hush.
well,
I'm looking forward to
man.
it, yeah.
The statute of limitations don't start until they, until they get even marked for it. Like,
We gotta find them.
yeah, I gotta find them. They're not gonna be fun, Rob. Trust me. Anyhow,
Please no
Yeah.
digging at the 50-yard line bunkers. Thank you.
you'll find, but you'll find that everything. I think the woods. Once you get back into the wooded area, we want to talk about the '90s and stuff like that. And I really believe that's what we did. We did field exactly like that, And it'll be a great. It's about paintball, and it's about a different way, and it's about having a good time. And I think we cover that.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
We've been
why
doing
all
it
you
since
guys.
then.
Yeah, that's why all you guys are on here tonight. Is for that reason.
Yeah.
Same way with Jennifer. Jennifer and Frank. I can't say Frank, right?
He's here. Well, I guess he's camera shy. He's eating ice cream.
Oh.
Oh, don't include us, Frank.
He's got the right idea.
Some ice cream now.
Yeah.
Have him bring
Frank,
some
we
over.
love you anyhow, buddy. But that's why I got you all on here tonight. I love the two tournaments that are coming up. Dan, I know Dan and Steve have worked really, really hard on that.
Yes, they
And I
have.
know Jennifer, has taken over the reins from her son, and Rob jumped in to give him a hand. Let me see if I can do this here real quick. Where am I at here?
Wait, no.
Boom! Right there.
Yeah.
There you
Now,
go.
this is what went ahead and started it right here. And Jennifer and her husband Frank have taken over the reins on this, and they have worked really, really hard. And I just think it's terrific to carry on, Jennifer. I know it had to be hard for you to do that, but it's what you're doing is you're adding to something that Tim absolutely loved, and that was paintball. And I think
He had three loves. He had three loves in life: paintball, food and beer, and travel. I mean, in that order too.
well, probably four things, including you guys. So
I don't know. I get a postcard once a month.
but it's just I just think it's great what you do because I'm all about building paintball. You know what I
I
mean?
think it's building, Fred. You do a good job. You promote it. Everybody knows you as Mr. Paintball. So, and you came out to World Cup. You went around and you gave gifts out to all the kids. You took pictures. Great PR. We had
great
over
time.
150 kids.
I know it was
and
amazing, wasn't it?
It's amazing.
It
It's
was.
amazing. It's growing. It's booming. the kids are our future, and it's
Yes.
every team now has a young guns.
Yep.
So
And you're a big part of that though, Jen. I mean, look,
we
Montresor's
all are.
Marauders, look at them. You're a big
I
part of that.
know.
And when we were at World Cup, I got to hang out with you. I thought it was really, really cool. I had a great time sitting there with you and Frank watching these kids play, because some of these kids are absolutely amazing.
They are
For-
amazing.
For their age,
Yeah.
oh my God, it just it was unreal. But you're a big part of it, and what you're doing for paintball right now, I think, is absolutely terrific. Same way with Dan and Steve,
Oh,
jumping
yeah.
in
It's been around
and joining
forever.
us. Yeah. So it just, and we're not trying to compete. I always say this all the time too, is we're not trying to compete against anybody. I mean, the NXL gets a gazillion teams, I love Tommy Cole, been a friend of mine for years. More power to him. All we're trying to do is just have a different venue and just something different for somebody to go do. Because as much as I love paintball, can I go out and play X-ball? Yeah, if I want to get the crap shot out of me, sure I can. But can I go play woods ball and compete? Absolutely, I love it.
Field.
You're right. There's a venue for everybody, and we have to do that.
Everybody
We're not competing against the NXL. We're just making another venue, because not everybody can play speedball. We're not competing.
No, you're absolutely right, and there's room for everybody.
And not everybody can travel to all these events.
Yeah,
What's that, Steve?
It's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody can travel to all the events. Love to fly out to Orlando for World Cup, but a lot of people, they can't afford it. So that's why I'm so happy. It's the fields all around that get to instead of just the big venues.
Yeah, but it's getting the word out there too, because we did the first WCPL tournament down in LA a few weeks ago. We had 10 teams, because 100 miles away there was a 5-man that they got the word out there before we did, which was fine, but they only had it on a Saturday. Well, Sunday a lot of those kids came out and they were watching the 10-man, and they're going, "Oh my God, this is so cool! I wish I'd have known this. We would have played this instead of the 5-man." Yeah. So it's all about getting the word out. But if we just keep sitting on the couch and not try to promote anything, it'll never ever happen. And like I was talking to Rob, Dan, and Jennifer in the green room. People will criticize. I don't care. I like I say, even God can't make everybody happy. But you do a tournament, and somebody will come up to you and they'll go, "Oh, this should have been better. You could have did this better." As long as it's a little bit of constructive criticism, it's fine. But I just like I was telling Rob, I look at him and I ask him, I go, "How many tournaments have you ever done? How many have you held?" And they go, "Well, none." Well, until you do it, you do not understand the logistics of doing one of these tournaments. It's not just saying, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and it happens. Man, there's a gazillion things that you got to take care of, and then you got to rely on other people to make it happen. So that's what I tell everybody. If they say, "Hey, I think it's an easy thing," I tell them, give it a try, and then come back and talk to me.
It takes a team. It's not one person.
No. And it's like with
No,
Rob.
but the bad thing is people try to jump into this mix, and what happens, they don't know what they're doing. They think they got the whole thing covered. They really screw it up. Okay. So that really takes away from a lot of people, because it takes a ton of work to pull off a tournament, a ton of work. Like you said, Freddie and Jennifer and Rob, everybody knows it's beyond anybody's comprehension. And okay. So no, it's really rough. But that's what separates us, I think, from anybody else. I think we know. Yeah. I think the people here, we've all been around for a long time. This isn't our first rodeo. We know what the players want. We know what the players need, and now it's up to us to provide that for them. But like you said earlier, Jennifer, it's a different way. It's just making it more friendly. take the stress out of the paintball competition end of it. Okay, we could still compete without the stress. Okay, of absolutely being on that pro level. And I think it's a lot better. I mean, we could get guys from all ages and just go have fun again. Get back into the woods. We're all familiar. We got the bunkers to get behind. We're all familiar, and let's have some fun. You know what I mean? And you're not going to find it cheating. You're not going to find it. It's because we're here for one reason. We're here to have fun.
We're going to have cheating. There's always going to be cheating. Always. There's always cheating.
More art.
Yeah, but
always,
on the
it's a shame though.
We know what to look for, and we're going to be cool. We'll pull a guy. We're not going to be jerks. Not jerks, but there's certain things we got to look out for, and I think as players, we all know what those things are, and we know what they are. And Steve is making sure that the referees are 100% up to par. Okay, because there's a few things that go wrong in a tournament. 3 things. I think it's refereeing.
Yep.
Air.
Paint.
Yep.
And paint.
And air.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the 3
that's
main.
it. So if you could get those 3 things together, you got a lot of it already beat. The rest of it is just having a good time. And I don't see how the hell we cannot have a good time now with this crew, guys. I mean, Freddy. He have you in stitches in no time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Tim, just everybody. What a crew of unbelievable, old school, great guys.
Now we're talking about the way I talk, not the way I look, right?
Can it be both?
And now he freezes up.
Hey, Fred, you know what I mean? And no matter wherever we went, we always had a good time. I can't.
Hey, we got Bill Bailey jumping in here with us too. I'm going to bring him up. What's going on, Billy?
Hey,
Just got back.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Billy.
looked like you had fun this weekend.
No.
It was crazy. Airsoft was nuts.
In the rain.
Oh.
Well, it rained Thursday and Friday. Totally beautiful Saturday and Sunday. It was just a muddy mess, but it was a good game. It was awesome.
Got your bridge back.
Whew,
Yeah.
that bridge was something, So
Well, wait, we're talking about we're talking about the tournament coming up, and then we're talking about Jennifer's tournament that she's doing with Rob at Fox Paintball. So
Yep, heck
yeah, and what we're talking about too, Billy, is it takes a lot to do one of these, and but the people that actually work hard to do this are actually promoting paintball. And I think the way that Jennifer's doing it and the way that the WCPL is doing it is we're not trying to step on anybody's toes. We're just trying to have everybody come and have a fun time, because back in the day, I used to go to these tournaments, and guys, I got to tell you, I had a great time. I got not only get to see the people that I had met before, but to meet a ton of new people, and I love that. I think that's great. So, that's why I have so much respect for everybody involved with the WCPL and Jennifer, the Montresor Classic. I just have nothing but total respect. And Jennifer, why don't you throw out the dates and tell us a little bit about how you ended up with Rob?
Let Rob tell you. It's an interesting story. I'll let Rob tell you.
You got such a sweet voice, though. Okay, go ahead. Rob.
You want me to go back 2 years?
Go ahead, Rob.
Can you remember that far?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. All right. The last ICC in Pittsburgh, Jen and Frank have been going around talking to all the teams, and she seemed to stop by our booth, our team tent, a lot at Team Fox, and we just got to know each other. It also helps when she wakes up 2 of your guys that are sleeping on property in their truck and they don't know who she is. They want to run away. But just little things. And we just kept talking since then, and we just kind of clicked. And, I love the event. I always have. Tim created a monster that is just awesome. And we just talked some more. And when it got moved to twice in 1 year, I started having ideas because Jennifer told me she wanted to have it in the Midwest. And I thought it was a great idea because, you know, we're centrally located for everything.
Right.
The first one didn't work out, ended up in New York with Jerry and Kevin. And it was a little rough. You know, when you have to move something that size that fast, you don't think of everything. And since the parting of ways for the other Midwest field, I get crazy ideas. And my guys, I talked to a couple of my guys about it, and they looked at me and said, "You're nuts." So I've actually been thinking about this for a year or a little over a year, and secretly plotting, talking with Tim, telling him this over here, and talking with Jennifer and convincing her of this over here. And finally in December, we got on a 3-way call. I got Jen together with Tim on a phone call. And the best feeling in the world is when your best friend pretty much repeats everything you say without you saying a word for like 2 hours. And it was fantastic. And that's when things really started kicking in. And I got to thank Jen for trusting me on that one because, you know, 2 years ago, even a year ago, I would have never thought I would be in this position. But I saw things coming from our field that couldn't click 2 years ago or last year. And talking with Jen and convincing her, and talking with Tim and convincing him, and then finally putting the two together, I just saw it as a fantastic fit. And that's where we're at this point.
Well, plus, you know, you couldn't link up with a better person than Jen anyhow. You know, I feel the same way with everybody I've linked up with in the WCPL. You know, these guys, you don't have to be a big mover and shaker to build a sport, to help build a sport. You know, what you got to be is you got to be honest. And sure, you're going to run into snags. Absolutely. You know, if you think you're going to do one of these things and nothing's going to happen, you're insane. I'm sorry. That's all there is to it. You know, you can plan the best thing you want and things are still going to go wrong. But, you know, it's how you deal with it at that point in time and how you correct it for the next event. You know, that's what really makes you stand out above the rest when it comes to doing stuff like this and promoting the sport, because doing tournaments like we're doing right here, I think is promoting the sport. And I think it's, you know, giving people a lot of fun and something to think about. So I just, I think it's great that you hooked up with Jennifer. You know, first time I met Jennifer, I'm like, wow, I mean, she just blew me away, you know, and I met her on Steve's show, the Unknown Paintball podcast, you know, and that's, you were on that show.
Yeah.
And that's where I met you. I actually, you came on and you told me, you go, yeah, my son, we had to buy 2 of your tapes for him, you know, and it blew me away. Very rare am I lost for words, you know. But man, I didn't even know what to say after you said that. I just felt so honored. It was incredible. It really was. So
Fred,
I'm very glad. Go ahead.
We were ready to give it up. Running tournaments is not easy. And we wanted to have a quality event. We got to have a quality event. You've got to give the players what they want, you know. And you guys already named the three main objectives, you know, paint, refs, you know. But
and air.
If it's not, well, I got Dan. I mean, he's the airman, right? If you don't have,
wait, can you build on that or no? I got you. Go ahead.
What are you talking about? I don't think anybody knows what you're talking about.
I got to tell you one thing. If we weren't live, I got a million things that just ran through my mind. You know?
Thank God for live.
Yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
But you know, you also have to have a quality field. And when you look at Fox, we looked at a lot of fields. Frank and I, we toured over 24 fields on where to have it. And when you look at the field, you want an iconic field. Well, if you go back to the history of Fox, the history's there. It was one of the original fields.
Yep.
So when they approached us and said, "Well, we can do it," and now I don't think we said yes for about a month or so, and then we said yes because Rob has done so much work. It's incredible. The fields are just gorgeous. The fields, these field owners put a lot of work into the fields. You have to give them credit. Dan and Steve, have you seen that? I've been watching them because
their fields are beautiful.
Oh yeah, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait this weekend. I mean,
And just so you know, we have to mow that grass even when it's 100 degrees
I
all
know.
summer long. So it takes a lot of work.
Keeps you from getting that dad bod.
Yeah. Wait, absolutely. I mean,
there's cooler days when it gets to like 95.
yeah.
Oh,
That's what high
I'll
schoolers
tell
are
you,
for.
Jennifer's talking about the Fox Field there. I can't remember the exact date, but they used to fly me back there to play big games. So Rob knows.
96, 95.
95, yeah, it was me against Bob Long.
Yeah,
I kicked his
that
butt.
place has been open for
Yeah,
a while.
big time, up, down, and sideways.
Yeah.
But it was just it's a great field to play. You still got, was there like a creek or something there, or
That field is still there, but we our new 10-man we're building. I took that whole field, but left the creek in another part of it, and then took another part of another field and made it a 10-man because we couldn't leave that in for a tournament field.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, because when I played that big game, I remember sloshing through that. I was down on the edge. I was into my waist in water.
That's Mosquito Pit.
Behind them.
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's I think you guys are going to have a great tournament, just like I know Steve and Dan are going to have a great tournament this coming weekend too.
yes, they are.
I can't wait. Leaving tomorrow.
I'll tell you what's cool is
It's going to be a blast.
you guys have two different tournaments right here, but yet you're working together to promote both of them both ways.
You got to.
If that doesn't,
Right.
what does it say about paintball?
Why not?
That's what I'm saying. See, that's what I try to promote all the time. You don't have to butt heads with each other. If you work together, this guy gets an extra team, big damn deal. Try to help them, and then they'll help you. And the more and more you do it, the more it builds, the more friendship builds, and then working together becomes a lot easier and a lot more fun.
Well, it does for Dan when he sends out threatening letters and blackmail and says he'll take your air if you don't work with him. So.
Oh yeah, he sent me a Christmas card with a match in it, and he says, "Am I your favorite?" And I'm going,
I
Love you, Dan.
No,
Dan, I got to tell you, Dan has so much respect, and Dan, I'll tell you, maybe put your fingers in your ears, because I don't want your head to explode. But you've got so much respect for so many people around the world for what you've done for so many years. And when I first met you, I was scared of you for about a week. No, I had so much fun with you, and the way you've treated me over the years, there's no words to say how you've treated me over the years. With not just your sponsorship, but your friendship. You've always had my back. You always talk straight, and you're just a straight shooter. Like it or not, you are a straight shooter, and that's one thing I really love about you, buddy.
That's all I've heard about Dan for 30 plus years. That's from players.
Yeah, that's right.
You might not like the answer, but it's the truth.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is that right there?
I mean, we all have a common goal.
Yeah, well, absolutely right.
We love this sport, so it's easy to do what we got to do. So
I like pushing the
people. I
WCPL.
gotta say something, man. It's funny that people all find their friends. You know what I mean, and lifelong friends. And if it wasn't for paintball, I wouldn't have met Freddy. And if I wouldn't have met Jennifer, and I wouldn't have met Rob, I wouldn't have met a lot of different people, And so paintball really, you could be over someplace here with with your crew of people that you normally hang with, you know, and then you get into paintball, and then your homies and everybody that you knew for so long, they don't become relevant anymore. It's all your paintball player friends and everything. So, you know, with that being said, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing Rob and Jennifer, you, and I mean, all the guys. This Billy, I mean, this is a new way, like what Kevin started up and what he said, and you know, Freddy. It's just a different way, man. We're all here to play paintball. That's the common denominator, but we're here just to have a good time, stress-free, without the competition and all the drama that goes along with that competition. We're going to compete. We're going to compete hard, you know, and there's going to be a lot of hard feelings.
Yeah.
That's what goes in the game, you know, so we're not worried about that. But it's done in a professional manner. It's afterwards. I'm going to buy you a beer. I'll get you a beer. And we talk about it. And that's paintball. That's the way it used to be. And that's the way I believe that everybody that's on that screen right now, right here, fighting for the same thing, is to bring paintball to where it used to be and bring the fun back into it. You know, stick around and have a beer and talk some shit.
Well, you know, I'm part of the WCPL. I own part of that. You know, I own the California part too. But, you know, I push Jennifer's stuff just as hard as I push my stuff. I do. I absolutely. You know,
we should all support. We should all support Jennifer.
Exactly.
We should all support Jennifer.
Exactly,
She's part of the crew.
Yeah, absolutely right. Now if Jennifer was a jerk and wasn't good for paintball, I wouldn't badmouth her, but I wouldn't do a damn thing for her. Period.
Right
on. For me, it's something you earn. Period. You know, Jennifer, you have earned the respect that you get. You have earned the help that we give you. You've earned it. It's not given to you just because you're Jennifer. It's given to you because, at least from me anyhow, it's because you earned it.
Well, thank you, Fred. I appreciate you guys. You guys are all, you've been around forever. I mean, oh, look, there's something. There's something.
Is she beautiful?
Maybe it was a bear. It has hair.
A mini one.
You guys have all been around. You've been around forever. You've been at the beginning. You know that you got to help each other. You got to grow the sport. You can't.
Oh, I think we lost Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer.
I think you lost me.
Rod.
Okay, we lost you for a minute.
And I would
Did we lose everybody?
Billy, can you hear him?
I can hear you and I can hear Rob, but Dan and Steve and Jen are like choppy.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Oh.
We lost Dan and Steve.
Jennifer, say something. No, we lost.
Nope, we lost.
No mic. We can't hear you.
Lost audio.
You lost audio. No. Yeah, Rob, we can still hear you.
Yeah, I think we can, but I don't.
I don't think she can hear you guys either. Oh.
Oh, I think we just heard you now.
Is your mic up or get closer?
It's on. The mic is
There
on.
it is.
Yep.
Very high.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Try again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now. It was worth not hearing you though to watch Bill do that. So
Having did it again.
Everybody was attempting sign language. And I was like, well, I'll do my part.
You guys are all good for the sport. You guys all promote it. You've been in from the beginning. You're all good for the sport. And if we don't grow it, it will die. So we have to keep promoting it.
yeah, but we're all doing it in such a positive way. You know, that's what I like.
That's right. But there's a place for everybody. We just have to accept everybody. Just keep moving forward.
Oh, very good way to put it right there.
Can I say what we're doing at Fox so you can all hear about what we're doing?
Sure, go ahead.
I made a post the other day, but we're almost done with our first 10-man field. Got about another weekend if we get rid of the rain we keep getting. We'll be starting the next 10-man field, and in a few weeks we'll be tearing apart our hyperball field and making it bigger. And Tim has put a lot of money into this. He's bought a new compressor. We're going to be able to fill 4,500 without problem. It will never go down.
Did you just see Dan's ears? His ears just popped up.
Who's did? Dan's?
Yeah. You're talking ear. His ears.
You know, we were one of the first fields to have 4,500, and we've never gone below that ever. And it's a pride thing for Tim. So
really neat, you know. But Tim picked up a new compressor. It should be really, and handled a large capacity. So he really went on out of the way. But you know something, it's for the player. I mean, he didn't have to go that distance, but he committed himself, and he put both of his toes in there and down. He jumped right in. He, got himself a compressor that's going to be able to fill everybody's needs. So he's a committed individual at this point. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
he is.
I just think it's going to be a great tournament. I know he's been doing it for many, many years. I know Rob, he's been around. He knows all the little points, all the nuances. So I think between Tim and Rob, I think it's a combination that it's going to have to be dealt with, because these guys are pretty good and they know the game and they know what to do. So
they do.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Jennifer, I'm really happy that you picked with these guys, because I know the field. The field's a great field. It's perfect what you're going to be looking for and everybody else. So yeah, I'm really happy for you. And I think it's all our responsibilities to support the people that have the same mindset, is to bring cool back into paintball. I mean, cool paintball is full of cool, but I'm talking about laid back kind of stuff, so
well, positive people, Dan.
That's what I'm thinking. I think we need to support everybody. We need to support Billy. We need to support Jen. We need to have the same mindset. You got the NXL and everything, like you said before. We're not competing against, so it makes it a lot easier since we're not competing. We don't even have to worry about them. Tommy Cole is like a brother. I mean, I respect the man, and we're just doing a completely different thing. It's like a car. You got a Maserati and a Volkswagen, two different things. So with that being said, yeah, everybody I think paired up really well. I think this year is going to be a hell of a season,
Yes.
And we're really looking forward to this weekend, ours this weekend, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And it should be a really great year for paintball. Period.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you guys are making it that way, Danny.
That's right.
I mean, same way with Jennifer, same way with Rob, same way with Billy and Steve, Like I say, it's not easy to do this stuff, just like the people that are going to watch this show, they're going to watch it because they know that you guys are on, and it's the respect that you have drawn. That's why people are going to watch the show tomorrow and the next day and everything and so on and so forth. They're watching us in Australia right now. See, all urgent, get paintball resign. Here, let me put this up, because there's some guys in Australia. In Australia, it's extremely hard to do paintball there. I mean, the restrictions on the paintball markers and everything else is absolutely incredible. And I've talked to a few of them over there to try to put something together to maybe help them, with their government to bring paintball into. It's there, but if you listen to some of the restrictions,
it's restricted heavy.
It's incredible. Oh, it's just incredible how restricted they are over there. But you get people like this, they're going to keep plugging along, just like you guys did too. I mean, you guys have done things in the past, tournaments in the past and stuff, and got your butts kicked. If everybody thinks you make $1 gazillion off of this,
no,
you're crazy.
No, not even close.
Yeah, I don't know what planet you're from.
Yeah, but this is the first time that anybody imported. This is the Florida. So we brought in a ton of alligators and pythons. Okay, so for the realistic jungle, so we brought them in. I mean, it wasn't easy, trust me, but we got them all in. They're friendly little things. The media makes a big deal out of it. They're not that bad. Some of them are big.
Can we take
Put
some
some of them
home?
behind the band and make them run.
There you go.
I'm
Man,
included.
Danny, you keep stealing my
guys
show.
around. We're all going to have the alligator boots and python belts. Come on. I mean, it don't get better than that. So yeah, I just want you to know. I mean, we really brought those guys in there for you guys. You know, we call it our waiting pond.
Yeah.
So if anybody gives us a hard time, hey, here's a beer, go wait in a pond. You know what I mean? So
Is that prize package?
You know,
I told you it was worth a trip to go see Joe Exotic at prison. I told you.
Yeah, well, you know,
a lot of good ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of good ideas. He knew what was going on. Yeah, you know, between Dan and Alex, what got me are those pygmy rattlers he was telling me about. Those are beautiful. We got to fucking get a dozen.
They're gorgeous.
Very pretty.
But
Very pretty.
yeah.
Rob, do you know what kind of paint you guys are going to use at the tournament?
Yes.
Actually, I do.
Indeed, we do.
So it's going to be GI, but about 5 years ago, Tim convinced GI to remake the original Hellfire for him and him only. And we've shot that for the couple of years at Fox until COVID hit, and then manufacturing stopped. But we are going to bring that back exclusively for the Montrester Classic. So we will have the original Hellfire, orange from the 90s for the Montrester Classic.
Very, very cool. Well, I know I just absolutely love the tournaments, and I am just so excited about going to Florida this weekend. I can't even begin to tell you. Steve, I know you and Danny put a lot of time into that field down there, and I know you have too. When Danny had his hip replaced, right, Danny?
Yeah, just a little
First
bit.
to Danny. Oh.
When was that?
No, yeah, I did. When was it?
Yeah.
It was a while. Yeah, it was a couple months back, a few months back, handful of months
Okay.
back. I don't remember, man. I don't think I was in and out of there. You know what I mean? We had shit to
Well,
do.
they give you good drugs for that. So
No, man. Yeah, you know, I guess they weren't too bad, actually.
Yeah, because you don't remember it.
just my point.
Yeah, that's like the old saying: if you remember the '60s, you weren't there.
7 months ago.
Steve, I think you better talk to his doctor and stop those drugs.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
love it.
Scott,
Why?
I believe they were increasing the dosages. I'm not sure, but that's I guess that's the story. But hey, that's okay. You know what I mean?
Good.
It'll all work out at the end. If not, we'll show you the Mounds field once again.
That's right.
No. So,
well, you
no,
guys,
I'm glad
you know,
you got
you
that
sent-
paint.
you
That
sent
paint is a good
pictures.
paint, Rob.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
pictures on the Mounds field. I've been studying them, so I know they're
Oh, yeah.
here.
I saw a couple pictures of that Woods ball field. That's looking hot. That
Yeah,
looks
it's looking
nice.
real good. You know who has a good Mounds ball field, and that's Glenn Forrester
what you're
down there
supposed
at
to.
Ambush Paintball. His Mounds field was really, really great.
That looked awesome.
It's not only awesome, it's down about 20, maybe 30 feet below. So you can sit on this whole ledge up there and watch
Nice.
99% of it being played down there.
Nice.
But yeah, it was pretty good. And, guys, it's all about, building the sport. And, you guys work really, really hard at it because, like I say, it's a bear to put one of these things on. These are not a slam dunk thing.
No, and each field has its thing. That's the other beautiful part, right?
It does. But,
Each field has a piece of the personality of the operator who's running that field.
There you go.
Every single field has an independent personality.
There you go.
And everybody has a vision. Everyone here has a vision of what they want to be and see. Okay. So that's why everything we are all together. We're on the same page, but we all have different mindsets. We have different things, and that's what makes us. I think it's such a good grouping because that's what it's about. It's about thinking, and it's about creating and doing
Well,
doing the best we
but
can.
we help each other. See, that's what I preach all the time. That's what I think is making us good. And people are taking notes on that too. They're going, you know what? These guys aren't fighting with each other. They're working together, and they're two different organizations.
No.
They're two different kinds of tournaments.
I'm watching what he's building. I'm watching what Dan's building and
He's
Steve, and I'm
awesome.
watching what everybody else is building, and I'm taking a little of everything.
Yeah, and I mention Jennifer's every week. I mention Jennifer's, and I'll mention
Yes,
it
you
every
do.
week right up to the tournament. Period. It's just because that to me is what you do. If you're gonna talk the talk, you got to walk the walk too. And I love building paintball, and that's
Right on.
exactly how I do it. And Danny's watched me do it for years. Danny and I, we've been all around the world doing stuff like this, huh, Danny?
100%, yeah, man, and we were successful doing it. And then every time we left, that field was a successful field.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
and we made because we showed them how to properly lay down that foundation, and it was for the player. Okay, and then that rose, and I believe that's exactly why we were always successful, and that's why we were always picked for the job, is because when we left, they knew what they were doing, and they knew about customer service. They knew about how to take care of the player, and you needed that mind. First off, they needed to have that mindset if we were going to go out of seas, overseas to go see them. You know what I mean? So no, it's all about that, man. It's all about taking care of the customers, and we've been doing it for years.
Yep.
Look, where were they running scuba stations? They were using scuba tanks in Thailand, right? And
I
pulled
still
off
got
that
my
tournament.
scuba tank. I still got mine. Absolutely. And I was going to throw that scuba tank on my back because it was 127 degrees when we played. Remember, Danny?
Whoa.
Yeah, well, something, we went over and we did the sky ball too. You know what I mean? So when you
man,
take
I
a
gotta
look
tell you,
at
when I
all
was
the
standing
different
still, I was moving too fast. It was hot there. So, well, I'll tell you what,
man,
Danny and
Freddy.
Steve,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys say goodbye first. First of all, I want to thank you very much for coming on tonight, and I just am looking so forward to this weekend. When I win at paintball is when I get to show up and hang out with my friends. I've already won. Period. Before I even hit the field, getting to hang out and meeting new people and the camaraderie, I think is terrific. So I'm going to let both you guys say goodbye to everybody, and I want to thank you guys so much again for being on.
Goodbye. Jennifer, as
Yes.
always,
See you soon. See you this
see
weekend.
you. Say
Yeah.
hi to Frank.
Friday.
Rob, I'll see you this weekend. Billy, always good
Yes,
to
sir.
see you. Freddie, my brother, you stay on top. You know what I mean? And I'll see you during the week, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I see all you guys, right? Jennifer, are you coming down this weekend? by
I'll be
chance? I
there
don't know.
Friday. Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Two
I
more
look forward to seeing you then.
Be there Thursday.
I know you're coming down.
All right, guys. You guys have a good evening, and thanks again for coming on tonight, Dan and Steve. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Rob is
See you Friday.
Bye-bye.
Great guys. I just
There you
I
are.
like how hard they're working for the sport. I absolutely love it. And,
I cannot wait to see that field.
Danny
Oh,
sent
I've been
me pictures.
studying
It's
it.
great,
It's going to be a killer
and
field.
you guys are going to have a great one too. You're going to have a great one too. Rob, you're next, buddy. I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight, and I want to thank you for what you're doing to help Jennifer to promote the sport of paintball. It's something I believe in. I get a lot of crap off that. Everybody goes, yeah. And I ask them, I go, well, how much do you promote paintball? How much do you talk about it? You might promote yourself, but what do you do for the sport? You bring people together like we try to bring people together, and you can do a lot more for paintball than you can individually, believe me.
Yes.
So, you linking up with Jennifer, I think is a match made in heaven. Paintball heaven. I'll go there.
Thank you, Fred.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you say goodbye real quick.
We'll see you all later. See you this weekend, most of you. Bill,
Okay.
see you soon.
Rob, the date and location one more time for Jen's tournament.
Yeah,
The Montressor Classic is July 28th through the 30th.
at
Fox Paintball in Newark, Illinois.
there you go. Right on. All right, Rob. I'll see you this weekend, brother. Looking forward to it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Rob.
Jennifer, I'm going to let you mention it one more time, and I will keep mentioning your tournament all the way up until the date that it happens too.
Well, it's
But I
July
want to thank you
28th
so
to
much for coming
30th.
on.
Hey, thank you
I
for
want to thank you
having
for
me.
coming on, and I want to thank you for what you do with the young guns and everything like that too, my
Well,
friend. So,
everybody's doing the Young Guns now. Every organization has a Young Guns. We are really growing nationwide. Over in Indonesia, the Philippines, they're all growing. We have youngsters playing every venue now. They're remarkable. They're remarkable. The sport is growing.
well, I'm big on the Filipino paintball worldwide group. We started with Bill and I started with them.
It's the fastest growing organization, and they also are placing on the podium more than any other organization.
They're doing great. I got a lot of friends that are on that podium with them. So I love that group. I absolutely do, and I promote that group big time, just like I promote your.
I know you do.
Your tournament.
I know
so
you do.
I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody one more time. Mention your dates and
July 28th through the 30th at Fox Paintball in Newark, Illinois. And thank you for having us on. Fred, we'll get to see you in 2 days, right? Friday?
I can't wait. I got a hug coming.
Yes, you do.
I meant from Frank. No.
Oh.
I love you, Jennifer.
Good night, guys. See you soon.
Yep.
Everybody, Jennifer Montrusser, what a great lady. Just absolutely cool as could be. I love it. Billy, you got in late, man. Good group tonight, huh?
Yeah, it was good. I wish I could have got here faster, but I was out at my field getting, trying to get packed up because we're leaving tomorrow afternoon. So
yeah, I know it.
I was just trying to get everything done. And I'm like watching the clock and was like, ah.
Well, I'll see you Thursday.
Yep.
Let's say goodbye to everybody and hang out in the green room. We'll talk in a minute.
Yep. Okay. All right. See you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, everybody. I can't even begin to tell you, I appreciate my viewers so much, and I appreciate what you guys all do for paintball too. I just absolutely love it. I think you people are the best of the best, and to call you friends is an understatement. That's how much I think about the people I've got to know in paintball. So everybody, thank you so much. Now, next Tuesday, you're going to see me, and it will be after the WCPL. So I'm going to be talking about how it went and how much fun and stuff we had, and hope that you join me on. So please, everybody, till next Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock Pacific time on Facebook on Flagpole Productions. Remember, play hard, play safe, play fair.
Play fair.
My daughter, Jessica. But get out there and play paintball, everybody. Bye now.